Hello guys, today we are going to see the Unit 6, Life Long Ago. Remember, you are going to need your student's book and your workbook. Let's start. Objectives. In this unit, you are going to learn vocabulary related to the past, simple past tense, past continuous, and used to. Let's start with the vocabulary. Please open your student's book, page 90. We have different activities that we did in the past and that we do now. For example, now people travel by car, but before people traveled by horse and buggy. We can see that in present tense the verb is travel and in past tense is travel with ed at the end of the verb. This is very important in simple past tense. Now people wash clothes in a washing machine. Before people washed clothes by hand. Wash and washed, like a T at the end of the verb. Before, people had a phone with an operator. Now, people have a cell phone. Before, people had oil lamps. Now, people have electric lights. Before, people cooked on a coal stove. Now, people cook in a microwave. Before, people listened to the radio. Now, people listen to an MP3 player. Here we have a list with the most common verbs in past tense. For example, in present tense we use have or has, and in past tense just have. Wash, washed, cook, cooked, listen, listened, travel, traveled, watch, watched, use, and used. Simple past tense. It is used to talk about a completed action in a time before now. And here we have the structure for positive, negative, and for a question. Positive. First is the subject plus the verb with ed at the end plus the complement. In the negative form, first we are going to write the subject, then didn't, then the verb in the base form without ed. And as a question, first we are going to write did plus the subject plus the verb in the base form without ed, and then the complement. Questions in past tense. Remember, for the questions, we are going to use the auxiliary did. First, we are going to write did plus subject plus the verb in base form plus the complement. For example, did people have cell phones in the 90s? And then we can have two different possible answers. Positive or negative. If it is positive, the structure is yes plus the subject plus did, or if it is negative, the structure is no plus subject plus didn't. As an example, we have yes they did or no they didn't. Verb to be in past tense. Remember, the verb to be in present tense is I, he, she, it, we, you, and they. In past tense, for I, he, she, and it, we are going to use was or wasn't if it is negative. And for we, you, and they, we are going to use were or weren't. Past continuous. The past continuous describes actions or events in a time before now which began in the past and were still going on when another event occurred. We have here the structure for affirmative, negative, and interrogative. Affirmative. First, we are going to write the subject plus was or were. It depends of the subject. Plus the verb with ing at the end. Then for the negative, we are going to write the subject plus was or were plus not plus the verb with ing. And for questions, we are going to write first was or were plus the subject plus the verb with ing plus the complement. Examples. She was cooking all the morning. Ella estuvo cocinando toda la mañana. She was not sleeping when he came home. Ella no estaba durmiendo cuando él llegó a casa. Was she sleeping when he came home? ¿Estaba ya durmiendo cuando él llegó a casa? Here we have some verbs in continuous or gerund form. It means with ing at the end of the verb. For example, work, working, wash, washing, cook, cooking, swim, swimming, and the other ones. Work, it means trabajar, working, trabajando. Wash, lavar, washing, lavando. Cook, cocinar, cooking, cocinando. Now let's see the structure for use to plus infinitive. We use this expression to talk about habits or repeated actions in the past which we don't do in the present. Used to in Spanish is something like solía hacer. We have here the structure for affirmative, negative, question, and for the short answer. Affirmative. First, we are going to write the subject plus used to plus the verb in infinitive form plus complement. For example, my grandpa used to walk to school. Mi abuelo solía caminar a la escuela. Negative. Subject plus didn't plus used to plus verb plus complement. He didn't used to drive a car. Él no solía manejar un coche. Question. Did plus subject plus used to plus the verb plus the complement. Did he used to drive a car? ¿Él solía conducir un auto? Short answer. It could be positive or negative. Positive, yes plus subject plus did. Yes, he did. Or negative, no plus subject plus didn't. No, he didn't. Now we are going to see quotation marks. The quotation marks come in pairs and it's necessary that we put them around the words that people say. For example, I had a great time at my grandpa's house, said Jamie. Did they watch TV in the 30s? He asked. As you can see in the examples, the quotation marks are before and at the end of the people said. Commas, periods, question marks, and exclamation points go inside quotation marks at the end of what a person said. Let's start with activities, guys. We are going to answer the workbook, page 74, 78, 81, 82, and 85. Page 74, exercise 1. Read and write the letters, then trace the path. In this exercise, it's just necessary to write the letter inside the circle that corresponds to the description that says the sentence. For example, the letter L, travel by car. Well, if you can see the pictures, travel by car is the picture number 1. And then we have the letter I, traveled by horse and buggy. According to the pictures, is the number 3. And you are going to write the letter I inside the circle. Then continue with the other pictures. Page 78, exercise 9. Complete the sentences. We have 4 sentences here, and it's necessary that you write the question and the answer. For example, the number 1, we have the letter A and B. A. Before computers, how did people keep in touch? Letter B. They kept in touch by letters. Antes de las computadoras, ¿cómo las personas se mantenían en contacto? Ellos se mantenían en contacto por cartas. Number 2. Letter A. Before washing machines, how did people wash clothes? Letter B. They washed clothes by hand. Antes de las lavadoras, ¿cómo las personas lavaban la ropa? Ellos lavaban la ropa a mano. Now try to answer the number 3 and the number 4. Page 81, exercise 16. What were those people doing yesterday? Complete. In this exercise, it's just necessary to use the past continuous. For example, number 1. At 8 o'clock, the Graham family, the subject is like they. So, we are going to use were and then the verb with ing. Swimming. Graham family were swimming in a lake. Then we have the number 2. At 9 o'clock, Mr. Cross was putting clothes in her washing machine. Was putting. And then the number 3. At 10 o'clock, Harry's dog was eating an old shoe. Was eating. Remember, we are going to use was or were, and it depends of the subject. Page 81, exercise 17. Look and write. Here we have 6 sentences, and we need to write the correct form for each one. For example, we have the number 1. 8 a.m. Dad wait for the bus and drive. At 8 a.m. Dad was waiting for the bus. He wasn't driving. And then we have the information for the number 2. 12 a.m. Dog bark loudly and go for a walk. At 12 a.m., my dog was going for a walk. It wasn't barking loudly. Number 3. At 6 p.m., my mom was having pizza with friends. She wasn't cooking dinner. So for this activity, you are going to use the past continuous form. Page 82, Activity 18. Write questions. Here we have 5 different questions, but we need to write them in order. For example, the number 1. What do you do at 10 p.m. last night? And the question mark. For this question, we are going to use the auxiliary did. For example, what did you do at 10 p.m. last night? ¿Qué hiciste a las 10 anoche? Number 2. You watched TV at 8 a.m. yesterday morning? Question mark. Were you watching TV at 8 a.m. yesterday morning? ¿Estabas viendo la televisión ayer en la mañana a las 8? Okay, so for this activity, you are going to use simple past tense or past continuous. It depends of the sentence. Please try to answer the number 3, 4, and 5. Page 85, Activity 25. Put quotation marks in the correct places. Here we have 4 different sentences, and it's just necessary to write the quotation marks where it is necessary. For example, the number 1. Did they watch movies in the 20s? He asked. Remember that we write quotation marks at the beginning and at the end of what people said. Number 2. I used to play soccer, said John. Look at the examples and answer the number 3 and 4. Activity 26. Rewrite the sentences. Use said or asked in quotation marks. Here we have a conversation between Ed and his mom, and we are going to write the conversation but with quotation marks. For example, how did people travel in 1905? Ed asked. Number 2. They used to ride in a horse and buggy, said Mom. Look at the example and answer the number 3 and the number 4. Very good, guys. Here we have 3 links of videos that you can watch if you have questions about the content of the Unit 6. Thank you very much, guys. Remember that if you have any questions, you can send me a message to my cell phone or by email. Bye-bye.